Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is another amazing episode of CLX Foundry Live, where we dive deep inside somebody's build and put it together from the ground up. I'm your host, DJ Blue PDX, and joining me live from our studios in Wichita, Kansas, it is our lead technical expert, Zach Killingsworth, and our master builder today, also Zach Killingsworth.
Hi.
There we go. Paul is out on assignment right now. It is a secret mission, and unfortunately, we cannot speak more about it. We'd tell you, or we'd have to hide from you. So, that being said, definitely keep your eyes in on the chat, because you never know when some sort of a clue might have been given. Yeah, there we go. So we've got a fun thing today. We're also going to be announcing the winner for the Intel giveaway. We've still got 6 days left for the Mafia Old Country. Yeah, Mafia 3 PC giveaway, which is fantastic. We got codes going out all over the place, and I hope y'all are enjoying yourself. Now, with that being said, Zach, hi.
Hi.
I know you guys have had some storms there lately.
Yes, lots of rain and hail.
Lots of rain.
Big hail.
So, speaking of things that we hail, all hail to what's going inside of this box. And what is that?
Alrighty, going into our awesome set today is a Ryzen 7 9700X. We're going to be cooling that with a 120 millimeter liquid cool from the Acetec company. We also have this beautiful X670E Gaming Plus Wi-Fi motherboard that comes from the MSI company. We've got two 16 gigabit sticks of 5,600 speeds, and we have a single terabyte NVMe for our operating system. And all that is going into our Talos E2 Elite case with 4 of our sweet M2 fans in it. And we are going to be putting a 850 watt power supply and a Helios P2 from the Game DS guys as well.
Nice. Okay, well, as we start getting things unboxed, just as a reminder, if you've got a question or you hear a term that you're not familiar with, all you've got to do is ask, because that's what we're here for. And we love it when you ask questions, mostly because I don't know any of the answers. We've got, obviously, Need of Temperance in the house. Sammy Smalls, what's going on? Welcome in. Honor Brad, or Honor 77 Brad, because 76 would have been too little. We've also got Shane 510s in here. Cosworth, call me Gerb, a.k.a. Getting Girder. Oh my God, that is hilarious. Buckaroo's in the house. And welcome in. Figment for Life. Rumholt Eye. Gimmer X is here. We got a whole lot of new people. Dreaming Shintoki. I once dreamt in shiitake. Oh, it was too much. All right, so as we're getting this all put together, I know you guys are anxious and eager to find out who won it, and we're going to find out who won that PC a little later on in the show. So there you go. Joey Wheels. Adrian Cade. Yes. All right. So let's start with what we're going to do. So the body of it is going to obviously be our CLX Set Talos E2 Elite case. Now, for our motherboard, which is what houses all of the things, that is going to be an MSI X670E Gaming Wi-Fi Plus motherboard. This is actually really great because it's got a lot of a large variety of heat sinks, so it's really catch, and the connectivity on this board is wicked. Let's take a look at that real fast. All right, starting at the top, you've got your your BIOS flash button. You've got your HDMI and your display port, obviously, for if you have onboard graphics. Down below that is the USB 3.2 Gen 2 10 gig ports. That means 10 gigs up, 10 gigs down. No, 5 gigs up, 5 gigs down. No, it's 10 up and 10 down. Yeah, because the 4 blues are all the 3.2 Gen 1s. Those are 5 gig up and down. Then, of course, you've got a USB 3.2. There's 4 of those there, which is great. A 2.5 gig LAN port, which is fantastic. And then you've got your USB 3.2 Gen 2 by 220 gig Type C. That basically means that there's not enough data you could even scream that would ever make that thing lag. We've got our antennae and then our little audio ports, and that's going to make what you get to put in it. And as somebody who is, I'll say this only just because it's something we were just talking about a little bit earlier, but before the stream started, boards like this I love because of that level of connectivity. Especially if you're a content creator, I know for a fact I need a minimum of 10 USB ports on my motherboard in order for me to plug everything in. That goes from lighting to cameras to microphones to Go XLRs to you name it. So when you're building your PC, which you can do at clxgaming.com, definitely remember that. Keep in mind how many USB ports are available because it will be designed for that. Also looks very cool too. Yeah, I love it. Well, MSI's got this whole dragon theme that's fantastic. God, I want to say it was my very first PAX East when I was a partner over on Mixer, and they had a booth there, and I got this dragon hat. It's an MSI dragon hat, and it's the cutest thing in the whole world. But now I don't wear it because I don't want to be a brand snob. All right, now, first things first, as we're getting the rest of the little knobby knobs on there, we got to give our PC a brain. So for this, look at that beautiful thing. That is going to be an AMD Ryzen 7 9700X, which is an incredible processor. Zach, tell us a little bit about this processor.
Oh, yes. Why, thank you for asking, DJ. This processor has 8 cores and 16 threads. And it has a base of 3.8, and it boosts up to 5.5. That's not like 5.5.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. You know, it doesn't have 16 threads. The button that fell off my favorite pair of shorts. Now it has 0 threads. All right, up next, we're going to be starting with our AIO, really. And that is going to be fun because that's what you saw him putting on before. There's a brakes on the back. And then you've got your mounting, what would you call it? The mounting
standoffs?
Points? Standoffs? Okay. And so what are those, when you're putting one of these together, if you're building your own PC, what's some really great advice so that you're not feeling so lost in the moment?
I always, whenever I get a brand new product, I am digging around in the box for the sweet manual that will show me all of the way that the company wants it done, so that I know, especially if it's something new that I haven't played with before, then I really am trying to do research just before. But being an avid builder, most things are pretty similar to the previous generation. There might just be a couple things different, so that's where we just want to verify if we do have questions.
Let's see here. And real quick, just jump back. I almost said Elitas, but it's Eitlas. I'm just going to get also got Sammy. Guess what? We're going to announce that a little bit later on in the show. Mruku is first timer here. Same with the Yamaha Saab. Only they put Yamaha in my Saab. That would be perfect. So, Cosworth says, DJ, if someone put a computer inside a giant Battlestar Galactica model, would you use it or just display it? Both! Mm-hmm. Both! Battlestar Galactica, hello! Beats Bears Battlestar Galactica. It's the only thing that matters in the world.
You would set up a server in your house so that you could host LAN parties.
Well, this whole studio would change. Would change. I would probably push the DJ system somewhere else, and so that I have instead of the green screen, just have a giant display back here, or a display and a green screen. I don't know, but yeah. So once we get our AIO on, and an AIO stands for what?
All in one. That means we have all of our pieces to cool off our processor are in one device. We've got our pump, our radiator, our hoses, and our liquid. And so with this little fan header cable getting plugged in, it supplies the power that this one needs. Some of these pumps require SATAs or 6-pin VGA cables. Some of them plug into USB headers because they have colored screens on them or display screens. And so there's lots of different avenues and areas that you can get into with your cooling of your device.
Nice. And as I'm looking over here through the taluses are an interesting build out for these. So we're going with the 120
Yes.
on the AIO. So that's how we're going to be cooling it. Any things that you should take a look at when you're considering doing an AIO?
When we install our distributor down, we want to go from corner to corner and not in a circle. That means that we'll apply pressure evenly instead of to one side. If we did it to one side, we could cause damage to our board or our processor. And then ideally, this is a 120, so this is kind of the smallest that you would get with a radiator setup. From here, this typically will sit on the back of the builds, kind of over by the I/O. But if we had a 240 or a 360, then we could look at mounting it on the roof of the case or onto the front of the case, depending on where we want. But with this being a 120, they fit perfectly right there with that exhaust fan blowing right through them.
That's going to be fantastic right there. Speaking of things that are right there, don't forget we've still got our AMD PC giveaway with our partners at AMD for Mafia, the old country. That still works. And then we've got our first code for the day. Actually, technically it's our second code. Okay, sorry. Apparently we had a momentary pause on that one.
CLX Raw.
Yes, it is CLX Raw -JSJS. Jizz.
Jeez, guys. Jeez.
JSJS. GG, guys. It is CLX Raw -JSJS. There you go. Second code of the day. Because if anybody who was in here when the show started maybe looked at the very top of the chat and saw somebody saying hello.
Hi.
Speaking of hello, let's say hello to our Patriot RAM. Why? Because reasons. All right. So for the RAM on this system, we're going to be having two 16 gig sticks of Patriot DDR5 5600. Now this is the 5600 Viper in black. So it's a little bit different than the other Patriot that we've seen. What makes this stand out as something that's different for that brand?
So you did say these are Viper in black, so that means that we do not have RGBs on these. There are a lot of sticks memory modulars out there that have RGBs to add to the aesthetics of the build, and these are just straight up naked boys, the way I like them. I like everything black with just a touch of red in the builds. That's the best way to have a system set up, so they know what they're getting into.
I want to get, in all honesty, I really want to get an open loop that is got all phosphorescent liquid so that everything glows with a black light. And just have that be the black light. That'd be the lighting. So I know we've got a couple of DMs about where is Paul. Paul is out on assignment at this point. He's doing some research regarding the computer use of the Swahili nation.
Man in the field.
Yes. We'll be back with a tan and a new friend that looks like an elephant.
And a shaved beard.
I don't feel like that's ever going to happen. That makes absolutely no sense, but okay. Yes, listen. Tell me when the last time was that I made a whole lot of sense. I'll tell you what makes sense. And it costs dollars. And that's your hard drive. This is going to be a Patriot P320. We have got an NVMe M.2 solid state drive, which, as you can see, Zach took off the heat shield for it so that we could actually get that under there. Now, when it comes to heat shielding, it's that pad, the thermal pad, is similar to what we've got underneath the pump for the AIO. So why is that important, and what are some things you need to make sure that you're keeping track of when you're putting these together?
Yes, so we did stick thermal paste, which is the liquid version of the thermal stuff, and that moves our heat from one source to another source, and that is what these pads are doing. They're wanting to move the heat that our NVMe drive is making and move it up off of the board so that a fan can get it and catch it and take it out of the machine. Just helps to get the heat up off of our board and elevate it a little bit so that it can just get knocked out of there.
Yes. Yes. Olmec, what's going on? All right, we're gonna delete that. All right, yo, Thea Beal Baba. Hello, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. You're theoretically still alive? Well, that's the thing. So up next, we're gonna go and do the big fun, and that means we're gonna be starting with putting our.
I'm going to grab the case again and unscrew the rear fan and install it on our radiator real quick.
Gotcha. There you go.
I forgot that, there's steps to do when building a computer. And this is one of them. Okay.
All right. Everybody's not feeling well. Kick side people are getting.
Everybody's excited.
Let's do that. All right.
Have fun, guys, and good luck.
Yes. Agreed.
Hab Spaß viel Glück.
Hello, Zach, DJ, and John Cena. Thank you.
Can't touch this.
That.
Him and MC
All right.
should have made a collab. Right?
What, MC Hammer?
Yeah, and John Cena. Can't touch
that
this,
could
can't
be,
see me.
That could be hilarious.
And then who would be You Can't Hear Me?
Or You Shouldn't Be Wearing That, which is I would say the descriptor of my entire first 3 months in high school as a freshman, because I thought I was going to be awesome. And I definitely had hammer pants. And let me just say that it did not go over as well as I thought it would. Not nearly as well as I thought it would. All right. So now we've got our case. This is a gorgeous case. This case got some really actually cool features. For starters, it's already got 3 fans in the front, so it's got an intake there. As you can see, those are already pre-mounted. Yes, and they're already CLX branded. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Now, when you're getting ready to put your motherboard into the case, it's important that you pay attention to where the standoffs are. Okay, standoffs. Those are the little nubbins that you'll see down below that will fit underneath each of those holes that have the solder joints on them. They look like a little silver star. So why is it important for us to make sure that we've got all of those in?
Because when we pick our machines up and take them over to our friend's house for a LAN party, we want to make sure that the whole machine gets over there properly and we can have a proper gaming session, 90s style. And by having all of our standoffs installed on all of the corners and everywhere that we need, just allows us to have a nice secure build just in case if some rumbling happens while we're, playing some video games.
Exactamundo.
You know how that
Gaming Dad is in the house. Hello. What's going on? Good to see you, my friend. And yeah, for those who are just joining us, don't forget we've got a CLX Raw JS code out there.
What's up?
And that is going to be for 50 extra entries into the giveaway. I'm down to my final 3 codes for my streams. And they're all 200s. So we'll see how that goes. I know.
Chippy is pretty good at having fun and it being good looked. If I was Chippy, I would feel like I'm good luck and I've had fun.
I mean,
I'm waiting for Temperance. Temperance is usually the one that gets this. gets mine, but
Yes.
I usually have them in the background. They're usually not out and exposed for everybody to just witness firsthand straight away out of the gate as soon as you saw the chat. My code is broken? Okay, guys, Chippy, good luck, have fun.
Wait, but that's for a giveaway that's already closed, dude.
Oh, that's why it's good luck, have fun. Ha!
Ha!
See?
I swear to God, we're professional.
I gave 1,000 code last week, and it was you're awesome. You guys just need to know what the code's actually for. It might not be a code for the giveaway, because I don't have all of the giveaway codes. They wouldn't trust me with those.
That is crazy. Let's see here. What graphics card does the Raw gaming PC have in it? Well, which one? Mine? Because, I mean, we have different RAWs. This isn't a RAW. This is a RAW, right?
Oh,
No.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, I reused. It's fine. It's all good.
Does the Raw gaming PC have the 4090 graphics card? You can get a Raw with a 4090 graphics card. Mine, the one behind me, has a 3090 OC. Someday I will get a 50 series. Someday.
Yes, most of our RAWs are going to have the latest and greatest equipment. So if there's something that you would like that you can't select off of the website that we do offer in other builds, you should be able to give us a shout and we'd be able to change that for you. So I've done that before.
Yep. Okay. Now we're getting this all put in there. So when you're getting ready to put your PC together, obviously, some of the things you need to keep in mind is, which is actually essential to the whole functionality of the system, and that is going to be your cable management. Cable management is essential because it helps maintain organization. It also helps ensure that you don't have a whole lot of things blocking airflow. So when you're starting a case out and you're just putting in your motherboard and things, what's the first thing you want to do with the case cables, and what's the difference between case cables and motherboard cables?
Yes, so our case cables are going to be our front panel headers right here, which is going to be our power button. We've got a LED change button for our fans, so that means that we can just, instead of pushing a remote to change colors, we can push them on that. We have two USBs and a USB 3.0, a headphone, and a mic jack on there. So not every case comes with that. Some cases will have more USBs. Some of them will have Type-Cs on them. And if we do end up getting a case with Type-Cs, that's when we want to make sure we also have a motherboard with Type-C headers on there so that we can plug those in properly.
Yes. See, copy the link address. There we go. There you go. I see we had Count It 178 asking for the giveaway link. There you go. It is, of course, clxgaming.com/mafia-the old-country. Mafia-old-country. There we go. So, keeping your system cool is absolutely imperative, and it's totally necessary. That guy, hello, welcome in. BlackRock Wednesdays in the house. Yo, Hashim is here. Yeah. I love it. Bill and Sean, trying to get through everybody's names here. Ogzim, I need this PC so bad. Yes, and you know who also needs it? Garth in North Carolina, who ordered it from us. Now, as we're sitting here, and I'll let him continue that. Don't forget that you can find codes for giveaways when we have an active giveaway. You can find them at the same place you find out all the latest and greatest about what's going on with CLX Gaming, and that is at CLX Gaming on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. I refuse to call it X. You can also possibly find one in our Discord, which is at discord.gg/CLX Gaming. I'm not sure why my voice went that high, but okay. The other place you can find it is on my channel when I stream, and that's just twitch.tv/DJPDX. I should probably slow down on my talking. I think the lack of caffeine is finally getting to me. Thank you, Gaming Dad. You guys are so amazing. Thanks. We appreciate that. What's up, Mr. Peppa Kozak? Papi Kozak. Wow, I can't believe I got that on the second try. That's incredible. You got her both? Nice. Well, we're going to find out who our winner is for the Intel Gamer Days giveaway in a little bit. So definitely stick around for that. Now, as we're watching Zach's mutilated glove, what did you do to your glove, dog?
I tore it straight in a cable.
On purpose?
No, it's a fashion statement. Yes, it was on purpose. It's a fashion statement.
There we go.
I'm a
there we go.
trendsetter.
That thing says fashion like I'm going to rip 2 fingers off of my rubber glove.
Mm-hmm. I don't need these.
Also, nothing says stalker. I'm ripping off 2 fingers from my rubber glove. Good God. Now. Oh, it's raining. It's raining hard. I can hear the rain. Nice. I love it.
Hallelujah. It's raining.
I got I got asked by a friend of mine who's a therapist, and not my therapist, but a therapist, and he wanted to know how I would responded to living here, in the Pacific Northwest where it gets dark.
Oh, gross. Oh,
and rains a lot. And
I know where you're going.
I was like, honestly, I if it rains, I open up all the windows.
Yes.
Sit on the porch with a book.
Yes.
It's a cup of hot tea.
Yes.
And
hot chocolate, hot tea, hot tea.
Yeah. Yep. Sit out there with the pups and just lay there.
Go to Jason's
That's one of my favorite things to do.
Get you some soup, sandwich, and salad. Cinnamon's Deli.
Do that too.
Get you a baked potato.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, damn it. You're making me hungry.
Here's the part of the show where we talk about food. Haha. You guys said we couldn't segue to it, but we rode in on both wheels.
Love reading in the rain. Yes, me too, Sunwax. You should grill in the rain. I grill in the rain. I will grill in the damn snow. I don't care. Sorry, that was way too much swearing at once. But yeah, no. Even if it's snowing out, we have this triple-sided umbrella that stays up. That, granted, to make sure it doesn't break, I have to beat the snow off of it every morning. But all we got to do is I just go out there under that and do it, and it's fun. Lots of fun. Would rust if you tried it. Oh, that's when you need a big green egg. Cajun Dieselman. Okay, everything about. I hope, pray to God that is your actual gamer tag, because that's hilarious. I'm already hearing accents in my head, but I think that's basically just from True Blood.
Gotta get you some onion.
There you go. All right, now, as we can see, he's getting everything up there. One thing to keep in mind is when you're putting together a PC like this is how you're going to run your fan array.
Correct.
And it's important that you make sure that you know what's going in and what's going out. Zach?
So science has taught us back in elementary school that heat is a natural riser. So if we just kind of go with the flow of most cases, this is a perfect setup. Most typical cases are going to have the front panel have fans on it. I know there's this new wave of glass cases that don't have front fans, but typically we want our air to move from the front of the case to the back of the case, and then from the bottom of the case to the top of the case. So if we have our fans laid out in that setup, then when we get to be able to plug them in, we should be able to plug them in pretty nicely to our hub. I like starting with fan 1 being the exhaust fan, and then let's say we had 2 fans on the roof. We could go fan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this case, can also hold some on the power supply shrouds. Some power supply shrouds can hold fans, and so we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in this case here. Or since we just have the 4, we're having the 1 exhaust and then 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just makes it easy so that when I turn the machine on, if something is spinning and not glowing, I can easily come back to the plugs and be like, oh yes, it's just not fully seated in the port, and finish plugging it in.
All right, so one thing to keep in mind that Paul and I usually talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it with Zach this time, and that is why it's important to have 3 intakes and 1 exhaust on this build, because it creates something called positive pressure. For those who don't know what positive pressure is, Zach, how would you describe it?
It's good vibes in the machine, and that's what we want. If we are having this in the reverse flow of this, where we have 1 intake and 3 exhausts, we would be pulling air in through all of these cracks and crevices around the case. So to not have that happen, having more fans come in and fewer fans leaving is a good way to have our case breathing properly. There are some niche cases out there. You will know if you are playing with those because you purchased them and
there you go.
Wanted to do something like that. So, yeah.
Paul Bodine mentions that he loves Pacific Northwest moodiness. Give me fog and rain all day, every day. I mean, during the fall, winter, and beginning of spring, I agree. Once we get into middle spring, I'm good with some sunshine. Get that heat up there a little bit.
Is that like second spring?
Well, I feel like it's definitely a spring.
I don't think we get springs anymore here.
Well, no, because Jerry Springer passed away.
Whoa, hey.
Sorry, too soon?
Rest in peace.
Yeah, more air in and more air out. Yes, agreed. So, and just to give, for an example, I know I bring this up, and it is a humble brag, but it's also he's the one who built it. My 360 AIO that I have in my PC is a push-pull. So it's got 3 blowing into the radiator, 3 blowing out of the radiator into the case. So I technically have I have 9 fans inbound and then 4 fans outbound. So I have a heavily positive pressure system, which means I don't really have to worry about dust collecting because there's so much air going through the filters in there that fast. Nothing gets to suck in without filtration. It's fun. Corrupted. Hello. I dig it. Now, this, of course, is a little bit different than some of our other, I would say, layered cases. So this is where the motherboard really sits towards the back of the case. It's got a little bit of space there for a little bit of cable management, which means you got to be really smart about how you do this. Now, one of the things we're going to be doing is we got to figure out where we're going to put all the cables for our power supply unit, which is our Gamedeus Helios P2 850 watt 80 plus gold, and this is called a non-modular power supply.
Correct.
So, Zach, what does non-modular mean for power supplies?
Non-mod means we have no modularity with our power supply. That means all of our cables that it comes with, which is going to different from 850, 750, 600, and 550 watt power supply. These are going to have different cables on them. But all of those are soldered in to the boards. If we had a modular power supply, then we could, depending on which power supply we went with, like if we went with like an EVGA, we could snag a very colorful cable mod kit from Cable Mod, and we could have some colored cables in our case if we wanted to. But the one thing that we always want to make sure of when we do have a modular power supply is that we use the proper cables for that power supply. We can cause some damage and harm to our parts if we use the improper cable. Spoken from experience.
So Ogzim has a great question. Do you guys have an actual class teaching about PC parts? Well, this is kind of that show. What do you have questions about? What can we answer for you? Trust me, all the questions you've got, we've got all the joy.
I'm just going to assume that requires that.
Like, is it specifically about what parts do what, or what considerations need to be taken when choosing specific parts to ensure compatibility? I feel like it's probably going one or the other. One thing to keep in mind while we're getting Oxim to respond to that is that there are 3 different kinds of power supplies. All right. You've got your non-modular, as you can see there. There's a semi-modular, which has the core elements pre-soldered already in, but then there is other accessory elements that you can plug in. And then you've got fully modular. Now, fully modular means there's nothing soldered into the actual brick. You've just got plugs that you got to figure out what goes with where. And that is important. And per Paul, non-modular is fine, work just as fine. It's just a little bit different on the cable management side of it. And it's generally non-modulars are a little cheaper, so it's good stuff. Oxim says, I'm trying to figure out what GPU I want to go for. I've heard the 5090s are the best, but people also say 4090s are better than those, so I'm confused. And then how important is thermal paste on the CPU for your liquid cooler? Let's start with the first one. Start with the first one, Dog.
So the first answer would be, what are we wanting to do? Is there a video game we're wanting to play? Is there a program we're wanting to use? Because that would kind of determine what level of graphics card we would want to get and go for. But other than that, there is literally anything on the market right now is what I would recommend. You could rock a 9070 XT. You could rock a 4 series or a 5 series card. 3 series, we're still selling 3 series. So.
Yes. Let's see here. Is the Segotep PSU reliable, says Mr. Papa Kozak.
Huh?
I don't know what that is.
All right, let's
Segotep.
do a little Google search.
Oh, yeah. All I'm getting is responses to Emotep. Emotep. Wrong thing. Segotep. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Good one.
First thing that comes up. Yeah, it's a power supply. We don't carry it, but it is a power supply, and they have modulars and semi-modulars and fully modulars. I'm sorry, non-modulars, semi, and full. They come in 750, 850, and 1250, but we do not carry them here at CLX. Just as an FYI. Demindred81. There we go. Responded saying 5090 is the best GPU out at the moment. 4090 is second best with only, plus the 4090 has a PhysX support for older games, which 5090 does not have. I went 5090, no regrets. Playing and streaming all games, I might make some beats, but I'll probably leave them to my iMac. Zim, zimmity, zim. We got another music producer in the house. Nice. Yeah. So ironically, my name isn't just DJ, but it's also that I'm a DJ. So that's fantastic. And that, yeah, I have a MacBook Pro that I use for
all your stuff.
DJing, but I do have with this gangster PC back here, I do some music production on here. So, and then once I've got what's going on?
Oh, no, I'm just like, you ever just wonder how you tie stuff up so perfectly that it just like, oh, this is gonna look good.
I feel the same way about how my hair disappeared, and I still haven't figured that out yet. So
it'll look good.
You think Segotep is a brand name? Yes, definitely is. Faikul Hassanash. Faikul Hassanash. Welcome. And I'm so sorry for butchering your name. There we go. Ogzim says, that's what's up. I was going to ask if you were a real TJ, but I get tired of asking because most people aren't. I can tell by your voice. Yes, I've been in radio. I do voice acting for video games and cartoons, and I've been a DJ for like 25 years. You do all audios and visuals on your iMac? Nice. I need to start looking at different options for visuals in my background when I'm spinning, because You know, it's a long story we're not going to talk about on stream. You know what? I'll talk about it on my stream after this stream. There we go. Bye and say hi. Mike Henson, afternoon, beautiful people of the PC world. Hello. Nice. Not to mention the leader of the Autobots. Also true. Autobots roll out. There we go. Oh, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome in. Yeah, I've done a couple different crazy characters. So the next one I'm doing is a villain. That's all I can say.
Yay!
And it's a main role, but it is
Yay! Dark. He's playing Elden
Ring,
one of those
guys. It's one of those things like where this is almost Joffrey Baratheon terrible.
What?
So yeah, do you know who Joffrey Baratheon is?
That sounds like a Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Is that the kid?
Yeah, the little tyrant nightmare of a individual
the
who
one that like
was
dies at the
purposefully
wedding.
And properly poisoned at the wedding.
Yeah.
Yes. I said what I said. I don't care. I hated that kid. Now the here's a funny thing. The actor whose name is Jackie Gleason. Not Jack Gleason, but Jackie Gleason. Do you know what he does in his off-script time? He's a stand-up comedian. Yes, the nightmare child of Game of Thrones, the Westeros disaster, is a stand-up comic.
Nice.
And he's actually really funny. Which is rad. Let's see here. Source of Croy says, souls like even, yes. Joffrey. How old can the games be on 4090s?
Oh, yeah.
Good question, Ogzem. I mean, you should have backwards compatibility with everything.
Emulators, man.
Yeah. Like, I can still play, like, OG PlayStation 2 games or Xbox 2 games Xbox 360 games that are on the Game Pass store. Sorry, look at that. I had a stroke while I was live. That are on the Game Pass store with a 3090 OC. I would assume that the 4090 is the same thing. All right. Now, one thing that's important to talk about, first of all, with these cases, as you can see from that side view that we were just on, there's a filter underneath it for all of the air intake coming into the power supply unit. You really want to pay attention to making sure that is clean and that it is there. You can slide it in and out, do your thing real fast, and it's all good in the hood. But notice the feet on the bottom of the case itself. So the really great thing about this is ensuring that you've got the space to actually set it up. One thing that Paul will tell everybody is you want to be careful with what you're setting it on because there's a thing called electrostatic discharge. Zach, what is electrostatic discharge?
So that is rubbing your feet on the carpet and then going over and asking your uncle to shake your hand. And then you zap them. Ha ha! Or that's taking a balloon and rubbing it against your hair and peeling it away and it moves it. That is what you don't want to happen in your machine. It can cause some dangerous things.
Yeah. So when you are figuring out where you're going to put your machine, what you should really consider is what you should put your machine on. Like I have mine on the big old case that came with it, the sarcophagus that CLX sent with it, and it makes a great stand. Also, if you're not putting it on carpet, which is highly recommend you don't put it on carpet, if you have to put it on carpet, put something underneath the feet. Personally, I use ceramic tiles, little sample tiles. I used to work at Sachs for Kohler, and so I have a bunch of little square ceramic tiles, and I just put 4 down, and that is completely non-electric conducing, so not conductive at all. Good options. You can also put like cardboard down or just a shelf board, a wood shelf board. That also could work. Mm-hmm. So, Jim back up. OG. Oh, it's OG Zim. Got it. Sorry, OG. Sorry, Zim. That was me being just a dork. Yes, I've. Mr. says Mr. Papa Kozak said, I heard he doesn't like acting because people often refer to him as Joffrey and everybody hates Joffrey. No backup. The winner has not been announced. You know, and Mr. Papa Kozak, you're absolutely correct in that sense because he got a metric, like, ton of
dislike,
hate mail and things because everybody hated Joffrey.
All right, yeah.
Which
so
is
you did good
to me.
He's in the same category
Yes!
as Walter White's wife.
Walter White.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm going to use Lana Parrilla as my example. So anybody who ever watched the show called Once Upon a Time, and it was fantastic, but the evil queen Regina, played by Lana Parrilla, she's an evil in that show. Just saying, she is. But as a individual, she's one of the funniest people out there. Same thing with Jackie Gleason. And I've found this to be, especially when I'm like doing roles and things, if you do so well that you can make people hate the character you're playing or love the character you're playing, you've done your job not just adequately, but accurately. And I've always tended to found that those who play evil roles tend to actually be the nicest people. And it's so crazy because it's like, aha! You remember that show? Yes. You hate Jamie and Cersei. They are disgusting characters, but Jamie comes around, sort of. Cersei is somebody I would run from in a heartbeat. What I would not run from in a heartbeat is what we've been watching Zach take all the stickers off of, and that is going to be our graphics card, and that is an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070 Ti from our friends over at Zotac Gaming. One of the things I love about these is they have the bronze centerpiece for the center of the fans, which I dig. So as for weight and feel, how does that feel in your hand?
This is a very light card for being
for a 3 fan. That's a lot.
For a 3 fan, it is a hard 2 slot, so it is a very nice. Has just a little bit of weight to it, but that is typical for a 3 fan because it does blow out there. But our PCB does go pretty far in the machine, so it's really
there.
Nice.
You go, nice. Now, when you get heavier cards, we end up having to use a thing called the anti-sag bracket. A, what is an anti-sag bracket? And B, are we going to need one?
No, we won't need one. And yes, an anti-sag bracket is a device to help hold our graphics card up. So our graphics card will sit in the machine like this, but when it's standing up, this corner over here tends to want to do that. On every graphics card, even if it is a light one, it will sag a little bit, but what you don't want is you don't want to have a heavier card and it starts sagging a bit because it can apply some awful nasty pressure to our PCI slot up here. That's why this one's reinforced with metal, is because we needed to get our sag brackets set up when they first started making super big heavy graphics cards. I know, DJ, yeah, it's great. I love talking about computers all the time. But yeah, so
keep
we
going.
just want to make
no,
sure.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at what Temperance said.
But yeah, we just want to make sure that we have our PCI lane open and go ahead and snap it down in, and then we will screw it up.
That snap is important, by the way. That snap is definitely important. Temperance mentioned what was going on with Cersei and Jamie, and I just said, so Alabama. There we go.
Arkansas.
You don't see me living in Bama. There we go. I hear you. So when you get this in there, you want to make sure you've got it screwed in properly. Now, this is a 2 slot, right?
Correct.
Or 1 slot. Yeah, it's a 2 slot.
The double down. The 2.
Yes. So at what point should you really consider using an anti-sag bracket?
If it's a 3 fan triple slot graphics card, yes. If this was a 3 fan, this is a hard 2. When I say a hard 2, that means like the plastic housing or the metal house, the heat sink of the card itself doesn't go into the 3rd bay. So if it went over into there, then I probably would, just because that's a little bit more weight.
Got it. Nice.
6 chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I've seen some.
If it's heavier than 6 chicken nuggets, then put an anti-sag bracket on it.
Good God. Let's see here. Mike Henson says, I noticed that my 1660 Super was sagging a little bit for a 1 fan.
Yep. Some of those 1660 graphics cards are a 8-lane and not a full 16 lane, and so that might be the reason why, is because it doesn't have a full PCI lane to connect and hold it up, and that's why it might be sagging a little bit. But you're fine. It's a 1650. It's not gonna fall down and snap.
Yeah.
Unless you're taking it to LAN parties, then you definitely, watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm doing that on any graphics card. I'm always gonna watch my equipment when I'm hauling it around.
Real quick, if you'd like to know more information about the AMD giveaway, there's still 6 days left. It's exclamation AMD giveaway. That's how you get it. Exclamation giveaway will get you to the one that's closed for Intel that we're going to be announcing the winner on at some point today. And so how are we feeling on this build so far?
I'm ready for panels.
Are you ready for panels?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I think that I'm ready to announce the winner.
Ready?
You put on the panels. I'll call out the winner. All right, everybody. This is the best part of the whole day, is because we get to figure out who won the giveaway. How many of you had entries? I'm assuming all of you had entries, multiple entries, thousands of entries possibly. And through our magical, wonderful randomizer, we found out who our winner is. And that is going to be... I'm still trying to figure out how to say their name.
Dr. Doom.
Etterath VT. Etterath VT. You are the winner of the Intel Gamer Days PC. Let's go. Congratulations. That is absolutely amazing. AMD HD. Is that actually a code? That's hilarious. Yes, so congratulations, Etterath. You have 24 hours to respond to the email that is going to be sent to you about, hey, claim your prize, or else your prize is going to be rechosen. So, that being said, we've got all our panels back on, which I love. And once again, congratulations to Etterath. Etterath? I think it's Etterath. Volume 2. Who knows? So, we'll get that. Make sure that prize gets over to them. Now, what's also going to happen today is we've got Garth's PC from North Carolina coming in. And before we start this little bad boy up, one thing to remember that I always like to talk about. What's going to happen to this PC once you start it?
Oh, heck yeah. So once we finish starting it, yeah, once we take it, once we get done turning it on. Alrighty.
Yeah.
So yes, once all of our machines get built, just like you have seen it, and that is all of our machines on our website, whether it is a raw, a set, a scarab, a Horus, or an RTS, they're all built this way. All of those get fast fielded, and then we put all of those into shipping. Yeah, we do. We put all of our machines through a 12-hour test period. They get Prime 95, test benchmarked, firm marked, all of the fun, rough and tumble stuff that we can run them through. If you get overclocking, we overclock it. We overclock processors. We overclock graphics cards. If you got, there's a free Borderlands 4 game right now with 50 series cards. You get those codes. But other than that, in testing, we install an operating system on it, and that is it. There is no junkware, software, malware, bootware, gunkware on the machine that you do not need, because we are gamers and we want you to have a fully set up gaming rig ready to run right out of the box.
Yes.
All you have to do is plug in your, let's do this real quick, plug in your power supply to the wall, And then you want to plug your monitor into your graphics card. That is this right here. There are monitor ports up here, but stay away from those. This is where you plug in all of your Razors and Logitechs and your Wi-Fi's and all that fun stuff. So yes, all of our machines just come to you fully loaded, tested with an operating system, and you get us for life. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything, you want to call us up and talk to us at 3 o'clock in the morning because you can't go to sleep because you're thinking about a build in your head, give us a call. We'll help you out.
Yes. So with that being said, let's take a look at what we've got built out for Garth in North Carolina. Okay, I love the way the fans look, especially that positioning of the CLX logo. That's actually incredible. Let's take a look at the inside. Oh, look at that. Yes. I like it. I like it a lot. That is awesome sauce. So, with that being said, congratulations, Garth. You've got a brand new PC. It's going to be coming to you after it gets tested. This show happens in 2 parts, and in just a few, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, you're going to get to spend the afternoon with Zach, building more PCs that are awesome. So this show happens every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 11 a.m. Pacific to Eastern. On Tuesdays, we are here on YouTube, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. On Thursdays, we're exclusive just on TikTok. Same time frame. If you'd like to know more about what's going on with all things CLX Gaming and possibly pick up a code or two, check us out on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at CLX Gaming. You can also jump into our... Oh my God, I'm loving that. Why doesn't mine do that? That's fantastic. So, I'm sorry, I lost my place. What did we just talk? You distracted. Oh my God, that's fantastic. All right, sorry. Anyways, talking about the RGB is like, oh, it's so awesome. Oh yeah, you also might find codes in our Discord with a bunch of like-minded PC enthusiasts like me, and that's at discord.gg/CLX Gaming. The other place you can find the codes is going to be on my channel at twitch.tv/DJBluePDX, which will happen today once the after show is finished, so you don't want to miss it. And in the meantime, I just want to say that is badass. There we go. I self-bleeping. So, with that being said, on behalf of Jason and Kyle in production, and then, of course, Zach, because Paul is on assignment, I'm DJ Blue PDX. Don't go away. We've got more coming up after the break. We'll be right back.
Bye. Welcome back, Scooby Gang. I hope everybody is excited for more codes, because you know, we got them here. We got all the codes going on. Thank you, Iterath VT. You won a pretty sick machine. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. I don't know, that's what all the people say, right? Alrighty, thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys are excited for more awesome builds. Yes, there is an active giveaway. It is actively going on right now. All right, let's do this. Today, I have with me from the AMD company a Ryzen 9 5900 X-Ray. That is a AM4 processor. We're going to be cooling that with a 240 liquid cooler from our Aztec homies. Our motherboard today is an ASRock Bravo 550 Phantom Gaming 4. We do have a grand total of 32 gigabits of 32 megahertz. Sorry, 3600 megahertz. Man, my eyes. Lots of small numbers. They like reading, mixing them up in dyslexia style. Okay, we also have a 512 gig for our operating system. This is going to be a nice little NVMe drive. And we have a 4 terabyte hard drive, big hard drive. And our graphics today is a 3060. It's a pretty sweet little 12 gigabit card. We are doing an upgrade to our motherboard. We are adding in some Wi-Fi